Good morning, folks. It's 11 minutes after 9 this morning, and it's Friday. It's May 22nd. I just finished my little workout that I typically do on Fridays, a little shoulder workout. And I didn't film the workout, of course, obviously. This is a video for today. You don't see me working out, so obviously we're just going to have a little talk. But I did, you know, do a short from each set. I think the last set of each exercise, so it'll be 4 shorts. Once I finish this right here, I'll go ahead and upload those, and then I'll be uploading this video here. But yeah, this is the first little bit of filming I did this week, and that's because it's the first time I've actually fucking done anything out here this week. I didn't work out any this week. I also haven't eaten since 12 o'clock in the afternoon of Tuesday. I do plan on breaking my fast a little later on the day after 12, so that'll complete a 72-hour fast. And all that kind of ties together, I guess, because I've said this many times before in previous videos. I know there's nobody out there that sits there and watches every one of these damn videos all the way through. So, I've repeated this. If it is ever anybody that goes back and watches every damn video, they'll be like, damn, this guy's fucking, repeat this shit. That's enough. I fucking get it. But I just still repeat it because there's people that don't fucking know. But I've always stated that I know that what I do basically here is working out, but I've always maintained this is not like a fitness channel. It's not like a workout channel. It's not, I'm not trying to be some coach or online, fitness influencer or anything. It's just kind of what I do. It's kind of like what my little hobby or what I like to do. And I'm basically just filming, shit I like to fucking do, and that is for me to leave something behind, for like future relatives, grandkids, great grandkids, great great grandchildren, even if like I die tomorrow or something, my loved ones now they're still here, they could come, look at this if they wanted to, because my mother died in 2024, and I have stuff to remember her by, of course, pictures and memories, of course. But it would be cool, and I have like a video or two I can go back and kind of watch it. But it would be cool. I always thought, if she just like had I kind of wish she would have like had something like this, a YouTube channel, even if she only had a couple videos, just some of her doing, stuff she likes to do, like maybe cooking something, or she liked gardening, it would have been cool. It would have been nice to have something like that to be able to go back and see. And so that's what this is. That's what this whole channel really is. And also too, I've said this many times before, like you never want to, well, I go back, in case you do get curious, I've seen like old photos of like old family, like great, 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 those like back in the day, and you don't get much out of that. You don't get much of the essence of how that person was. There's hardly anybody around that knew them or knew of them to tell you how they were. You just get a photo of them, kind of an old faded photo, they were all like, my like people from, ancestor people, I guess you could call them, great, great, great grandparents, and, that time before your grandparents, I guess, they were all hardworking, either farmers or working on offshore oil rigs and shit. So, we were from the South, southern Mississippi. It's fucking hot there. So, like in the photo, you just kind of get this faded picture of a guy that looks fucking miserable. And I'm sure he wasn't really like that. So, this is just kind of something to leave behind. If they're fucking even curious, the great grandkids, the grandkids, and all that, to see what great great granddad looked like or anything like. If not, it's for any damn body that wants to damn watch it. And also, I kind of enjoy doing it. I've said this before too. At least I'll admit it to you. A lot of these other people won't. They'll just continue on with the facade like they really are some important person. But they're not, and I'm not. It's just kind of fun, to pretend like you had a little show. You know what I mean? Just to put your thoughts out there, even if nobody fucking ever, you know, cracks the book open and reads it. You know what I mean? So that's that for that. And that kind of goes over, what the purpose of this whole channel is. Okay, so like today, I'm not really going to talk too much about working out other than the the point that I haven't worked out, and we'll get to the kind of the reason behind that, and we'll have a brief talk because I don't want to get too deep into this, and I don't want to get out there, put myself out there like I'm some philosopher and you should follow what this is just my thoughts and my opinion, folks. But talk about mental health and kind of like spirituality a little bit, just briefly. I don't want to shit on anybody that feels like they have mental health problems, or depression or anything like that. So this is just my opinion. This is just what I think and how I apply it to myself. Okay, I don't believe in mental health and depression and all that bullshit. I don't believe that. That's not to say that things aren't being affected, mentally, and it can feel like a health issue, to that point. That's not the point. I just don't believe like where the fuck's it come from? Maybe it is real, or maybe it's just mislabeled. You know what I mean? Mental health or depression. It is a real thing, but I think it's just maybe just mislabeled. Okay, because everything comes from some fucking where. Everything starts from something. Okay, so what does that come from? And I don't fucking know. I don't get into all that shit, so I would have no idea what like medical doctors and shit, claim that it comes from. My personal belief is it's gonna be spiritual because I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe He is the Son of God. He come down here and He died for our sins and He saved us all. And all you have to do is you have to accept Him if you want to, go to the correct place. You don't want to go to the other place. I don't think. And you should just, you should accept somebody like that. They created you and they love you. So it's weird for all these people to be like just shitting on Christianity. And I'm not trying to shit on nobody else's religion, but I will tell you this: you're wrong. That's wrong. Christ is King, and even Christianity has been, distorted somewhat by all these other, shadowy figures. I'm starting to learn that now. There's supposed to be like 88 books in the Bible, and the Bible, the version we get over here in the Western civilization, is 66 books. So it's 22 books they took out because it's stuff they don't want you to know, and it's stuff I believe will bring you closer to God. It's stuff you need to know. You know. But I'm not gonna get too much into that. All I will say, but I kind of do say that to kind of segue into what I believe all this depression and mental health bullshit comes from. And I think it's spirits, man. I think it's a bad spirit or an entity or something that kind of attaches itself to you. And here recently, they do this, and then just for instance, and it has to do with this too, because I used to do this a lot too, drinking, and I still drink every now and then, but the way I used to drink, which wasn't every fucking day, I was like a weekend drinker, so I could easily tell myself, you're not an alcoholic, you just drink on the weekend. That's not the case. But anyways, when I would drink, not all the time, but a lot of the times, I'd go overboard, man, and kind of lose my shit a little bit, kind of show out. And that wasn't me. I'm not that type of person. I don't, when I'm just sobered up, just a regular person, I pretty much want to keep myself. I want to help anybody that needs help, if I can, without, fucking killing myself, of course. And, I like to, live and let live. I don't bother anybody, and I just don't want anybody fucking bothering me. So the way I get when I'm on alcohol, I know that's not me. And it's things I've heard and read about alcohol. It kind of started making me think of this about all these other conditions that people have. Um, and just keep it kind of brief as I can about the alcohol thing. What do they call alcohol? Well, of course they call it alcohol, but you've probably seen a liquor store with this on their billboard: wines and spirits. Why do you fucking call that spirits? It's a liquid that you fucking drink. Why would you call it spirits? And I can get, I know, of course, some people be like, well, because it raises your spirit. Well, it don't raise everybody's fucking spirit, okay? But I do agree with them fucking saying spirits. They kind of, slipped up and kind of fucking told you the truth there a little bit. And that goes on a lot too. And people it just blows right over their head because you've been conditioned to think that, oh, that's far fetched. It's not. A lot of the shit that people want you to think is far fetched and weird and bullshit is not. So, and also the spirit thing, the alcohol thing, uh, way back in, you know, prehistoric time, I don't know, whatever fucking time, but alcohol was spelled differently. It was cool, the al, the AL dash KUL, and the U with the little two dots over it, the little weird U. And it was a fucking elixir. It was a potion that weakened you and allowed spirits more easily to come over you and possess you. You know what I mean? And I believe that. I do believe that. And I've also heard, of course, this could be bullshit or it could be true, but, you can take it with a grain of salt. It's at least something to make you think a little bit. This was this woman that, there's been several cases of people that say they died and somebody, came and took them, showed them this, but, they came back, whatever, near life, they died for a little while or whatever the case may be. Of course, it's fucking people that die on the fucking operating table for 3 or 4 minutes and come back or whatever. It was one of those cases, but this lady was being, kind of floating, upward, and as they're going upward, she sees all these bars, or they'll, come across a bar or a tavern or something. There'll be all these fucking spirits, ugly shit, floating around it. And she asked the angel or whatever it was, whoever it was, taking her, what is that, And he told her, those are bad spirits. They're waiting on, basically not the fucking words, of course, the angel would say, but he basically told her they're waiting on, the shit to kick in so they can go on in to that person and possess them, Because think about it, man, when you black out, you're out there functioning, walking around, and there's been cases where people have been blacked out drunk and, nobody else fucking knew it, strangers that didn't know them or whatever, because they're just out there, like fucking zombies almost. But I've blacked out before, and that's fucking scary, because you get to remember little bits and pieces of it. And when I remember it, it's not like I don't remember doing this. I just like I remember seeing this, like watching a movie from, the third person or first person, when they film a movie from the motherfucker doing this shit and he's walking around and what you get is his view. It's like that. It's like a movie, It's like I fucking wasn't even there. So with that being said, I think that's the same thing with the issues I've been having because I kind of cut way back and kind of just lost my desire to drink very often. Not that it still don't cross my mind very often, but just the desire is weakened to the point where it just doesn't, it can't drive me, to fucking drink, that desire, and I believe God did that to me. I prayed about it many times. A lot of times, like, of course, after every time I'd fuck up and piss everybody off or do something stupid, I pray about it every time. Please, God, take this off of me, take this away from me. But I think one time I finally fucking really meant it. You know what I mean? That's when he lifted it from me. So with that being said about the alcohol thing and how that affects you and it allows something to come in and kind of manipulate you, if you will. And maybe not a full body possession, but you're definitely being manipulated and controlled a little bit. So I have another thing, that kind of ties into with all this depression shit. Okay. Because here recently, in the last, I don't know how long it's been, just say maybe a year. I don't really know. I really don't know. Maybe longer than that. Probably a little longer than that. Maybe a few years. And it's not all the time. It don't happen all the time. But it does happen, and I do fucking notice it. And I have noticed it. And I think, this fasting the last 3 days kind of, I think that kind of clears your mind a little bit and kind of lets you look at things and understand things a little better. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always said, like, fasting is more than just a health thing. It's a spiritual thing, and it's something for your mind, too. So that kind of helped me. Guy was already on the kind of path of kind of like thinking this, but this kind of really cleared it up. But with that depression and all that shit, just hold tight with that. Like I was saying, the last few years, maybe we'll just say that because I can't remember exactly when it kind of, started. But like, we all get kind of aggravated or pissed off with a little everyday shit that kind of might go wrong. And it's aggravating, yes. And yeah, there's no fucking big deal about getting a little pissed off. Like, God damn it, But it's always something like kind of small and might inconvenience you for maybe an hour. You know, maybe that's nothing out of the whole day you got inconvenienced. But for me, like something like that sometimes, man, and you shouldn't really get too fucking angry about it. I become like fucking enraged, like furious, you know, and I say all kind of shit and I'm in the past when I was out, on the alcohol induced kind of, uh, just call it an overtake, something overtakes you or fucking influences you, something. When whatever it is comes along. Man, I'll fucking tear some shit up in those alcohol induced states, when I'm like that. But at least with this shit here, I've been able, it's been very hard. And it's probably not been good for my health to get that fucking uh, angry, and I can't describe it, folks. I know everybody gets angry, but there's got to be somebody out there that's the angriest you've ever been in your life. Just think about that, and maybe intensify it a little bit, And it was probably something fucking terrible or something stupid, justly to fucking for you to be that fucking angry about it. But for me, I've noticed it's not. It's like kind of small stuff, and it'll just fucking infuriate me. Then once I'm in that furious fucking state, you know, for whatever fucking reason, I start having these thoughts, like, man, fuck all this shit, fuck everything. I don't fucking feel like doing nothing. Nothing, brings me fucking, I don't get fucking excited about any shit anymore. I'm not fucking happy about nothing any fucking more, And I've got plenty to be fucking happy about and more than enough to be grateful for in my life. But these thoughts, they're just boom, And it's like, you're saying this shit to yourself, but it's like almost like, why? Something's making you do that. Something's putting that there. And you get to think about how you don't have shit, everything's fucked up. All because of this one little fucking thing, one little small fucking thing that's went wrong. And I'm over here now fucking infuriated. I fucking hate everything in the fucking world. I hate my fucking life, for this moment, while I'm in this fucking state. It's terrible. And so I think, I got to thinking this was before the fast and all this shit. That's got to be something. Maybe that's a fucking, I hadn't previously come to terms with and really believe that alcohol shit, like that weakens you and the spirit comes in and it's fucking with you. I already believe that about the alcohol part, and the blacking out and all that shit. That kind of sparked me. What the fuck is making me fucking feel like this and have these fucking thoughts? But, get back to that real quick before I move on. When I do have those fucking thoughts, when the fury and anger sets in, and I'm fucking just seething, boiling on the inside, basically. And those fucking little thoughts about how, man, fuck all this shit, I don't fucking feel like doing nothing, even the shit that I enjoy doing, I'm like, fuck that shit. That's what, I just fucking, I ain't working out, I ain't working. That's where the not work, I ain't work out none this fucking week till today. That's where that come from. That little fucking moment of fucking fury, and then that little shit came in, those little false phrases just boom, boom, just hitting you. That's depression, I guess. When a motherfucker feels helpless and he fucking just don't enjoy shit anymore. That's depression, right? That's what the fucking feeling, I would suppose could be described as if somebody with depression could describe it. I'm not the best at describing anything or being, training people or teaching people shit, but that's how I would kind of fucking describe it. So I think I'm coming to this point, starting to fucking think about that. And I'm like, you know what, man, when that starts happening, I need to fucking stop and start praying right away, And this is what kind of solidified it for me, When I started trying to think about that. There's like a little small part of me that was like, no, I want to feel like, you want that. You want to fucking feel sorry for yourself and be fucking mad and fucking hate everything. You want that. No, fuck all that. So I'm like, okay, that's definitely fucking something. And, I hope this don't really come off as me, because it's not like it happens all the time, folks. And I'm a good guy, I believe. I try to, like I said, quiet guy. I don't bother anybody. I try to help people if I can. So that comes, that tells me, like I don't want to say this as to make, like, it's an excuse, I didn't do anything. The Spirit did. I can go out and fuck. No, I don't want to fuck. I don't want that shit. If you're making an excuse, then it's like, well, I can go out here and fuck this guy up and then be like, nah, the Spirit fucking. No, I don't. I do want that motherfucker off of me and to get the fuck from around me and leave me alone. I do want that. So I think I've kind of recognized that. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not preaching to nobody and telling somebody like, you got mental health? It's bullshit. You're a pussy. You're a bitch. I'm not doing that. I'm just talking about me, what I believe, what I apply to myself. And that's kind of what I believe, folks. And I do think it's a very spiritual world out there. And what I can do, I know it's no, I'm saved. I'm born again. I was baptized. I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Christ is King. Nothing and nobody's above him other than the Heavenly Father, which they're all kind of one, the Trinity. So I'm not the type of person, man. I'm gonna go spill my guts to some fucking, like, I'm not shitting on people that have therapy and stuff, but what is that motherfucker gonna fucking do, man? What's he gonna do? You sitting there telling all your problems. What is even telling your problems to some jackass gonna do? That's just my thoughts. I'm not telling nobody to stop your therapy. It's not help. I'm just saying this is my opinions and what I apply myself. There's many people down here on earth, that are good people and want to help. God, Jesus is behind all that. So no matter how bad somebody wants to help me, unless God sent them personally to help me, God is the one, Jesus is the one that you should ask for help. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm going to try to do. And I do pray almost every day. But with this thing here, I really want it off of me. I feel like I'd live a whole lot happier life, which I have a good life, but I would feel more content and happy all of the time, which I do have that. But I have a lot of moments like that, even when it's not being pissed off. I'll just kind of suddenly have these fucking thoughts. Then I have nothing to be fucking, to feel that way about. I have a great fucking life. Of course, it's not perfect. Of course, I have all the, bills, everything that pisses off the typical man. I still have all that shit. But I'm blessed to be where I'm at in life and to have the things I have and have the people that I have in my life. So I'm going to fucking drive that motherfucker away, whatever he is or whoever he is, whatever it is. I'm going to because, I'm going to use the most powerful power there is, and that's the power of Jesus Christ. So I'm going to do that when I feel those moments coming home, regardless of what the other little voice or other little, thought says or tries to push its way into my head. Like, no, I'm going to, and I'm going to work diligently and hard towards doing that and praying, when those situations arise, stopping right there and praying, like honestly, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? Really, not just like some shit, your little typical, God is great, God is good, let us thank him for it. So that's kind of a thing, that you just have to get it out of the way. That's not really, I don't want to say that's not a prayer, but I don't know, man. It's like you're not really being honest and talking straight, to God, because like I don't really even know what to ask for when I ask for help about these things, and I say that. But like I said, I guess I can wrap it up right there. But and I hopefully you got the main idea of this whole video. We're off today. Sorry I didn't do a full video. Well, I kind of did. This is about a 20-something minute long video. Possibly going to be around 30 minutes by the time we upload it. But so it is a full video. But it's just me here talking. So if you come tuned in, for the workout, I got about 4 shorts. And it's just, I just recorded a set from each short, a set from each exercise. And, our Friday exercise, our Friday workout is shoulder. So you have that, but like this is the video for today. I just want to kind of talk about that and put that out there because I want, like I said, what this channel's for, leaving it behind for those. I want them to be able to come, hear some of my philosophies and some of the ways I think about stuff, like I'm not gonna just be on here talking all the fucking time. I'm not great at that, but from time to time there will be videos like this. And I hope I hadn't bored anybody to death, but felt like I needed to talk about that and say that stuff. And so for today, we're just gonna take the rest of the day. I'm off today, like I said, kind of enjoy today. And I will come back tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're gonna do a two-parter or not. I don't know, but it's gonna, I'm gonna try to do. I'm excited, semi-excited again a little bit, because for those couple of days, man, I was really like, kind of shitty, feeling kind of shitty. That's all I'll say. But that's it for today. And tomorrow, yeah, we will at least get a good. And of course, it'll be chess again tomorrow. And not sure yet who we're going to talk about or what we're going to show, but we'll have us a little workout and then we'll have us a talk afterward. And then we'll, show you something that I got here. Show you something, that I got here recently. Or that I just want to show you or share with you, But yeah, folks. That'll be it for today. I think I may, it's not quite time yet. I've got a couple more hours. About 9:40 now. But yeah, I'm gonna break my fast later on today. But as for now, I'll just head on in the house, kind of wash up a little bit, and kind of go run a few little errands, whatever. Just kind of take it easy the rest of the day. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be early in the morning with the tire flips or not, but at some point we'll see each other again. And until then, folks, remember, be safe out there. Christ is King. And until I see you again, take it easy.